me also start the recording.
Might help.
Right, who the hell was... Oh, I started as Siegfried, so I guess I'll go to his and read all of his little dialogue, but... No.
So wait, there's like an after ending?
Yeah, there's a bit after you finish,
Oh, in the book.
Yeah.
Where it basically reads off the ending, but it reads it off differently.
Yeah.
Which is really weird.
I know, right?
It's almost like they didn't localize it properly.
Alright, okay. The great battle is finally over. Siegfried's destiny was right in front of him. He grasped Soul Edge in his blood-stained hands, an incredibly foolish act. The history of massacre within Soul Edge traveled into Siegfried, consuming his consciousness. Anger, sadness, agony, horror. Siegfried's emotions were devoured by Soul Edge. He realized too late that the evil swords had invaded him and were using him for its own purpose. The parasitic swords merged with him. Siegfried screamed as his body turned as red as blood, though it was no longer certain he could hear his own screams. Time has passed since then, and the world had regained peace for a while. But now a horror appears on a cliff high above a quiet German village. There in the moonlight stands a red knight clutching two evil swords.
Soul Calibur! Anyway.
Meanwhile, in things that didn't actually happen, that was one of them. Well,
yep.
Because, I mean, then they were like, no, Nightmare is blue. Totally
yeah, and he's only got one sword.
Totally different.
Yeah.
I should have won. I played as Taki second. Might as well just do this in order.
At least you're not crazy enough to try to change the picture for each one. No, don't do that.
I'm not going to do that. Her sword, Rekimaru, which she had created and dedicated her life to, shattered into pieces. Not even a powerful enemy like a Fury Demon was that strong. The demons rejoiced at the destruction of Taki's sword and swarmed after her to avenge their humiliation at her hands. Taki grabbed Soul Edge, and with a simple wave, the demons quickly disappeared. And she was like, holy shit, that's pretty awesome.
Yep.
And none of that mind possession thing happened for her for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost because that's not actually canon.
Let's see, what happened now? She basically merged the weapon?
Like what happened canonically again? Like she broke one of the swords and then used a fragment to reforge her own sword.
Yeah, so they kind of use a little bit of this ending.
Taki realized that she held a powerful weapon, but to wield great power requires control, lest she become like Cervantes. Within half a year, she was able to forge the weapon into an obedient servant, melding it with her beloved Rekimaru. She was all like, if you don't behave, I'm going to hit you with this blacksmithing hammer. Not long after, the ultimate challenge arose as the Fury Demons once again tried to come forth into the mortals' world. Taki, with new weapon in hand, met them in combat and destroyed the demons once and for all. Also things that did not actually happen.
Yep.
Well, I think she actually she killed the demons, and that was about it. I don't remember. Oh, right, I played as Cervantes after that, I think. So much book, such read, wow. Oh, wow, that was short. Cervantes was finally freed of the power of Soul Edge. He was finally its master now. Get ready to sail, me hearties, he shouted. We shall change this world into a hellish paradise. Well, I thought in his ending he realized the error of his ways, but, well, never mind, I guess. As he spoke, the sky split open, letting in a mighty fleet crewed by undead pirates, ready to terrorize the world with destruction and murder. The fleet set sail against the black wind filled with the smell of death. Probably because it's a whole bunch of corpses on boats. That's right, I played Sophia afterwards, yes. Sophia. No, not battle. Don't do that. Hephaestus! Sophia yelled and lifted up her omega sword high. At that moment, a dazzling light encircled her, and a thunderbolt shattered the wicked sword's soul edge into pieces. From the light, she could hear the voice of Hephaestus. Thank you for destroying the evil swords, even though it was totally me that did it.
What the hell kind of fanfic is this?
As the light around her diminished, her armor, shield, and sword shrank to the size of her palm. Then, to the amazed Sophia, the 12 gods appeared before her and thanked her for her courage. Hephaestus smiled, and they all vanished. How long has passed since then? Sophia now bakes bread with her sisters. The past seems like a dream, but she can still feel the loving eyes of ancient gods upon her.
That sounds incredibly creepy.
Especially Zeus.
Yeah.
And everybody's like,
Just as long as there are no showers of gold.
Don't you do it. I'ma do it. Too late. I did it. Even the fearsome pirate Cervantes was not able to defeat Mitsurugi. He thought his long journey had finally ended here. However, once he held the swords, he knew something was not right. These swords are indeed powerful, but they are evil. I'm just kind of taking a guess at this whole thing, but pretty sure they're evil. Long seconds passed. Then he cast Soul Edge away without further hesitation. Turning himself from the evil swords, he sighed in frustration. This is not what I wanted. Never. He realized that Soul Edge was pure evil, not the weapons of legend. I would refuse them even if they were given to me. Well, technically, it was even better than being given to him.
You earned them.
He beat up somebody and took them from them. The end of the Civil War. As the smoke of gunpowder cleared over the battlefield, Mitsurugi stood alone with fresh determination. His journey to find a weapon which can overpower the rifle continues. Presumably after he got shot.
Yep. Like an idiot.
But I mean, if the guy with the musket misses the first shot, you know.
Yeah. I don't know. I just keep thinking about how very easy it is for you to get shot in that ending if you don't do it right.
Yeah, I was pretty confused when I first did it.
I think that was the guy that I beat the game with the first time. I was like, wait, what? I can actually do something? Oh.
Like, I did it, father. The evil stranger lay defeated at Mina's feet. Trembling with anticipation, she reached for Soul Edge. Whoa, wait. This is getting a little too intense right off the bat.
Yeah.
This is like surely the Patriot's sword. However, the swords were not easy to lift. She lifted the first of Soul Edge blades and staggered under its weight. She tried to lift the other, but fell and was caught under them. She thought, as she lay underneath a couple of swords that were apparently as heavy as Thor's hammer. Can these swords really save my country? Like, look at what destruction they have caused here. I don't want that to happen again. Annoyed, she kicked the swords away and was like, well, whatever.
She just left them there?
I guess so. Well, she can't lift them, but apparently she can kick them away just fine.
Apparently.
I'm a little
Guess
confused.
all those things with legs.
Song Nina did not skip leg day.
Really?
Now I'm just imagining that she kicked the swords and they just flew into the stratosphere and twinkled into the sky.
Team Soul Edge is blasting off again?
Yep. She turned and cheerfully left the port town. Well, at least she's taking it in stride. But her cheerfulness diminished as she reached home. My father might be more fearsome than anyone I've met on my journey. As expected, her father stood at the gate, awaiting her. But contrary to her fears, he greeted her with open arms and a smile. It was very touching, but actually, I think that's what happened for Song Nina.
Yep.
Or Hwang slapped her shit around and sent her home.
Yeah, they don't. I don't know if they actually. I think you'd have to look at Soul Calibur's story to find out what happened with her.
Falling to his knees, Li Long saw that the blood was covered with ground. Not actually what it says. I just screwed it up.
The blood was a vampire.
The Draculas.
Blah blah.
Blah. Losing consciousness, he did not know whether the blood was his own or his enemy's. But, you know, one of these guys is a zombie, also a flaming magical skeleton. So, odds are pretty good that it's his. He began,
Most likely.
He began to realize that the evil man with Soul Edge was lying dead in front of him. With heavy sighs, he slowly tried to reach Soul Edge, but he was only grabbing the air. And then he was like, Chie, Chie. At a monastery in Hansho, Chie slowly opened her eyes. It was a miracle. There was a large sword scar across her back, but she was going to live. Since Li Long left on his journey of revenge, nearly a month had passed. Chie knew in her heart that Li Long had died. She wept for months. Half a year later, Chie and Li Long's love was producing a new life. Dreaming about her lover on a continent far away, Chie whispered her first words in years. Please, Li Long, protect our child. She said it exactly like that.
Yep.
The exact same inflection and everything.
Yep. Nothing wrong with it.
So apparently Li Long's kid became a ninja.
Really?
According to the source books.
Yeah, and they didn't use that character. Why?
Well, we all saw how Soul Calibur 5 turned out. They kind of threw the baby out with the bathwater entirely.
Still. Like I said, they would have been fine if they had actually put, some semblance of actual detail into the story, besides the two main characters that they focused on.
Maybe we'll get a Soul Calibur 5 Not Shit edition for the PS4. And Dogbox.
They're already talking about making a 6, so...
Well, I'd take that too. Maybe they'll have a recap.
Yep.
Or it'll be like Street Fighter Alpha 2, where it completely retcons Alpha 1.
Yes. Do-over!
We're sorry, Mulligan. I was looking for these, only these... Wait. I'm sorry, I screwed that up completely. I was looking for these, only these were my regret. Valdo found the swords at last and kneeled down slowly. He did not remember how to express joy, but he was sure his master wouldn't. Holding Soul Edge in his hands, he pressed the swords to his cheek lovingly, and then he cut himself because he's rubbing his face against bladed objects.
Either that or he broke the swords.
When Valdo returned to his home, he set Soul Edge into the place of honor. I thought that said palace for a second. I'm like, wait, how big is this pit again?
The big pit.
50 meters deep. His master's weapon collection was completed at long last, except for the weapon that Valdo took. Valdo felt a great sense of relief. Deep underground there is a throne made of glittering gold and countless gems. On this throne sits Valdo, obedient to the new command of his long-dead master. Which is, sit here for basically ever. Well, until 10 minutes from now when somebody else finds his money pit.
Guard it until the end of time, they say.
Right, okay, now I'll actually play this one. Get this started.
And now our main event. No.
Loading. By the history, a man becomes a soldier. Through the history, a soldier becomes a hero. This is a tale of soul and swords, transcending the world and all its history. I finally read it without beefing it.
Huh.
It only took me 7 tries.
Way appropriate.
Hwang. Hwang Sung-kyung. It's time for more reading.
Always.
Hwang Sung-kyung, age 25, born December 14th. Height, 171 centimeters, 5'7" for us. He's actually taller than me long, too. Weighs 60 kilograms, 132 pounds for us Americans. Blood type AB. Family, parents, dead. Master, still living. Weapon, longsword, blue storm. Isn't that a name of a movie? No, that's Blue Streak. Martin Lawrence, I think. Style, song's long blade. Even though he's using just a regular sword. Hwang Sung-kyung was born in a poor yet peaceful family. He grew up strong and healthy despite the warlike age. His childhood memories of his parents were of brave people with a strong sense of justice. However, their righteousness was their downfall. His parents' death was a painful experience to overcome. Now he is a man. A man.
He's a man's man? That's not William Hill.
Man's man. I was protected by a lot of people. Now it's time for me to protect the others. It's time to live up to my family name and face full life consequences.
Oh, God.
He enrolled himself into a dojo to learn the long blade. He had an innate talent for it. He practiced as much as possible. It didn't take him long to become the best student. Wow, that was kind of quick. He enrolled, he practiced, he was the best. At last, he could have a private lesson from the school's master, Song Han Myung. Master Sung was happy to have such a talented young student. He had a child who was still small, yet very talented. However, one thing worried him about his child. It was a she instead of a he.
That's not sexist at all, but that's kind of the time.
Yep. Like, the way it's even phrased is like, ooh.
Yep.
Master Sung seemed to be seriously thinking of adopting Hwang as his son. Master Sung didn't get a chance to talk with Hwang about it. The world was plunged into a dreadful situation. Among the Asian countries, Japan first settled its civil war instead of invading the mainland. It is not too late. People rallied under the Sea Force Admiral Lee Shun-jin and prepared to defend their motherland against the coming invasion. They started building fortresses along the coastlines. A coast guard was formed and Hwang was first to volunteer. Those who were eager to devote their lives to the savior of their motherland were fervently talking about the legendary Patriot sword Soul Edge that they had heard about from the West. When the rumors spread to every part of the country, Hwang was ordered to search for Soul Edge. It's time for me to save the others. Maybe, probably not.
It is time for me to faff about in Asia.
Yep. Blah, blah, blah. Satonai Sea Force, and more, blah, blah, blah. As a member of the Coastal Defense Force, Hwang was ordered to investigate the pirates. He stowed away in a trading ship and infiltrated the castle. But when he was leaving, he was spotted by a samurai guard. Nobody is really good about sneaking out of this castle, are they?
Nope.
Name yourself, yelled the samurai as he drew his sword. Hwang recognized the man and knew he must fight. He's a well-known swordsman, and quite a challenge. Win the fight.
Quite a challenge.
And now actual gameplay. And watch, I'll beef it like the very first fight of the game. Almost.
The grueling battle ended with the victory of Hwang Sung-kyung. You win.
Good job.
How did Street Fighter 1 do it?
Oh my god, I don't
What-
remember
what-
what line
Like,
was.
it's like you're a strong guy. Oh, there are many strong guys out there, or something like that.
It's like, you're a pretty strong kid, but remember there are many just like you all around the world. Something like that.
And next time on Radical Bromance, we're going to continue around the world and find these strong guys. Yep, it was basically an episode almost dedicated entirely to me reading stuff.
That's kind of amazing, actually.
Well, it's because you can't just jump straight to characters. So you have to exit to the
Of course.
main menu.
Of course.